The real secret to keeping your man. In this video, I'm going to share how to ensure that your guy stays completely obsessed with you and you have a relationship that lasts. It's Sabrina, your personal love advisor from A New Mode, the channel where we show you how love actually works. So all the stressing and analyzing a relationship isn't reserved just for the beginning stages. In the beginning, when you're wondering, does he like me? Why didn't he text me back? Is he going to commit to me? Once you've gotten past that and you're in a more established relationship, you have a whole new slew of issues to obsess over. Mainly, is he losing interest in me? And how can I keep him interested? I get tons of questions from women wanting to know the strategy or the rules of keeping a guy interested. But love doesn't work like that. It's not playing a tennis match. If a relationship starts out from a healthy place, both people are emotionally healthy, they share the same values, they have fundamental compatibility, then it most likely will last. If it starts off from a bad foundation, people are emotionally unhealthy, it's a toxic relationship, you're not on the same page, it probably won't last. At the end of the day, if you're not fundamentally compatible, you're not on the same wavelength, the relationship probably won't last. And a lot of the times this is beyond your control. But the good news is there are a lot of things that are within your control. You can up your chances of getting the love you want and having a relationship that lasts and having a high quality man who is completely over the moon, obsessed with you. It is possible and there are variables you can control here. And I'm gonna share them all with you, so make sure you watch this video until the end. Real quick, if you enjoy this video and find it helpful, please tap that like button. It takes less than a second and it will really help me out. It will really help me grow my channel. Also make sure to subscribe and ring the bell so you get notified whenever I post new videos. Be sure to also subscribe to the A New Mode newsletter. You will get our best advice, our best tips, our best strategies delivered straight to your inbox every day. You can subscribe at anewmode.com/subscribe. Follow me on Instagram at anewmode. Now, I'm assuming you're here because you want to understand how to have a relationship that lasts. You want to know what it is that men really want from a woman and from a relationship. And if that's what you want, I have really good news. We have an amazing system. When I say we, I mean me and my partner on A New Mode, Eric Charles. We created a system that teaches you exactly how to get a man to not only want you, but want to be with you and commit to you. What is it that makes a woman stand out from the rest and get a guy to see her as the one? If you are interested in learning all about that, then check out our Make Him Want You Bad system. You can download it right now or when you're done with this video at makehimcraveyou.com. Before I share how to keep a man interested in you, I want to share things that will not work towards keeping a man interested in you. Because you know, I always love a good reverse list. Number one, playing hard to get. Now, it's very hard to undo this in people's minds because I feel like from who knows how long. I mean, we've all been taught, or it's been so ingrained within us that you gotta play hard to get in order to keep a man interested in you. Maybe this can kind of work in the short term, but it's not a very good long-term strategy. Hard to get works by rousing a man's competitive instincts. He's not connecting with you as a person. He's just charged and activated by the fact that he can't have you. So his mission becomes to get you. But again, he's not connecting with you. He's just intrigued by the fact that he can't have you. But then what happens once he catches you? You can't run forever. Your true self is going to emerge eventually. And then what? If you are insecure and desperate and needy deep down, but you were just hiding it with the whole illusion of making him chase you and making yourself seem like a high value woman, then he'll be out of there so fast. And all that chasing and all that strategizing will be for nothing. The chase creates the illusion of chemistry because everything is so up in the air. But it's not real. It's just an illusion. Number two, don't show that you're interested in him. This again is very popular yet misguided advice. If a guy likes a girl, he won't see her interest in him as being a bad thing. In fact, that will be a good thing. That's what he wants. If he likes you, he wants you to like him back. So if you do, then that's a great thing. That will make him happy. The idea that it's a bad thing to show a guy that you're interested in him came about because, yes, in a sense, it is true that we are more intrigued by people when we don't quite know how they feel about us. And there was actually a study done that proved just that. People are more interested and intrigued by people when they don't know how those people feel about them. But essentially, this idea got twisted along the way. Your interest isn't a bad thing. What's a bad thing is being so desperate and so needy and bending over backwards and compromising yourself and compromising your values for the sake of having a man and being in a relationship. That's what's a turnoff. Not reciprocating a man's interest. Another problem here is when women just jump all in so quickly, put their whole selves into the relationship before it even is a relationship. When you do that, of course a guy is gonna get scared away and not want to deal with it because it's weird and it's creepy and it's just a sign that you don't feel very highly of yourself, you don't feel very fulfilled in your life, so you're completely latching onto this guy. Men are turned off by a woman who is just so desperate for a boyfriend, she will accept any man with a pulse that comes her way. He wants to feel chosen because of how great and amazing and sexy and awesome and smart and everything else that he as an individual is. He doesn't want to feel like he's just filling a slot that could have easily gone to any other guy. Number 3, waiting X amount of time before sleeping with him. This one really messes women up and it is so widespread. You have to look at the quality of the time you spend with someone, not the quantity of dates. You can't say, I mean, what was it? I think it was like, there was this popular idea that you had to wait 3 dates, but that is so arbitrary and nonsensical. I mean, a woman who goes on 1 date with a guy and they share a really strong connection and they really connect on every level, emotionally, intellectually, spiritually. If she sleeps with him on the first date, they have a much stronger chance of the relationship lasting than a woman who goes on 5 superficial dates with a guy where they just kind of have superficial conversations, don't really get to know each other on a deep level, but she feels like, oh, it's been 5 dates, so I should sleep with him because I want things to deepen. The first scenario has a much higher chance of success than the second. Waiting X amount of time to sleep with a guy will not deepen your relationship. What you need to understand is that in a man's mind, sex is sex and a relationship is a relationship. And having sex does not push the relationship further along in any way. It's just having sex. And it's definitely not a guaranteed one-way ticket to Girlfriendville. It's just not. So if you're sleeping with him in the hopes that it will deepen your connection or it will make him more interested in you or make him feel more strongly towards you, then you're completely off base because that's just not how it works. And because of that, that is why this common misconception came about that a man's just going to lose interest in you after you sleep with him. It's not really he lost interest because you slept with him. It's probably he lost interest because there was never really anything there to begin with. And that's because you slept with him before you had really established any depth of connection. It's not really about when you do it, it's why you do it. Are you doing it so that he'll commit? Do you think that that's just what he expects of you at this point? Are you worried that he's gonna leave if you don't do it? Or do you wanna sleep with him because you genuinely feel like you want to have that intimate physical experience with him because it feels natural and right and you feel ready to connect with him on that level? The answers to those questions is the answer to when should you sleep with a guy. Okay, so those are some misconceptions about how to keep a man interested. Now let's talk about what you can do, the variables that you can control that ensure a guy will be interested and completely obsessed with you. Number 1, be your best self. Now here's a really important life lesson. You have to focus on the things that you can control and let go of that which you cannot control. And this is much easier said than done. Believe me, I'm like a total control freak. And this is hard for me. It's a struggle for me every day to just let go. You cannot control him. You can't control how he feels. You can't control who he hangs out with. You can't control who he follows on Instagram and what pictures he's liking and what he's commenting. You can't control him. The only person you can control is yourself. And if you bring your best self, that will inspire him to be interested in you, to want to continue to deepen the relationship and to invest in you. If you're just stressing and worrying about what he's up to and is he gonna lose interest and is he gonna find a hotter girl, then you lose because that's such an unattractive energy and it just doesn't work. When has trying to control another person and unleashing all your jealousy and insecurities and paranoias on them, when has that ever made a person fall more deeply in love? When has that ever made him even more interested in you? It doesn't. It just doesn't work. So rather than focusing your mental energy on what he's up to and how he feels, focus on yourself and bringing your absolute best to the relationship, because that is all that's really within your control. Number 2, have a full life. You don't keep a man by obsessing over keeping him. Just doesn't work. You do it by creating an amazing world around yourself for him to be a part of. He cannot be your whole world. You have to have a lot going on in your life, and that is what's intriguing and alluring to him. As a relationship deepens, your lives will merge more and more, but it still is really important to have that separate time, to have your own interests, because then you're able to bring life and excitement and charge back into the relationship. It's so important to just have passions that fuel you, passions outside of the relationship. The fact is, the best way to keep a man interested is to be interesting. And the best way to be interesting is to have a life that is filled with many interests. Number 3, enjoy the relationship. Now, again, easier said than done because yeah, it seems so obvious, enjoy the relationship, but yet that's not what most people do. Most people just stress over the relationship. We just stress ourselves out so much that we cheat ourselves out of enjoying it. And I get why we do it, believe me. I mean, I did it more than anyone. I was the queen of stressing and obsessing. We do it because there's a lot on the line, and we're really just trying to protect ourselves, and we're really trying to avoid being hurt. So that's why we stress and obsess. But you have to have more awareness of what's going on and when you're spiraling into that stressed out, obsessed mode. And you have to stop it when it starts. You have to stop it in its tracks and reroute those thoughts because they're not serving you. And in fact, they're only harming you. They're only preventing you from getting the thing that you want so badly. I get it. You want to protect yourself from being hurt. I mean, being hurt and heartbroken, it's the worst pain there is, like physical or emotional. And like, I've given birth to 3 children, and I will take that pain over the pain of heartbreak any day because that pain is brutal. It's paralyzing. It's crippling. And I know that. And you know that. And that's why you're trying to protect yourself from feeling that. You have to realize you're not protecting yourself. And you have to realize that, yeah, that's just part of the game. There's always the possibility that you will get hurt. But if you do, you will come out of it. You will come out of it. You've done it before. You can do it again. You have to stop letting that fear paralyze you because you're never going to be able to have an amazing relationship or enjoy the relationship if you are letting those thoughts consume you. The best gift you can give someone is your presence. That's how we build meaningful relationships and connections. But you can't connect with someone when you're in that worried, frenzied state because you're not connecting with them. You're engaging with the worried thoughts that are in your own mind. So you have to get it under control. At the end of the day, the way you make an impact on a man isn't by being the most beautiful woman in all the land and being absolutely perfect. It's by having that special something, that special quality, that je ne sais quoi, that quality that others don't have. And that comes from within. That is not an external thing. You just bring something to the table and it elevates him. Our energy can elevate the people around us. It's interesting. The best feedback that I get is actually, and I don't even know if you ladies know that sometimes your men message me and they message me saying, my girlfriend discovered your videos or read your books or your articles on the site and our relationship has been phenomenal. I don't know what you said. I don't know what you told her, but she is like a completely different person. She is amazing and fun and inspiring. Our relationship is amazing. Thank you so much, whatever you're doing. And I have gotten many messages like this actually from men who have said that these women who took my advice are the ones that made the greatest impact on them. One guy actually recently reached out to me. He's not even with this woman anymore, but he was asking me a little bit about my business and what I do. And he was like, I just want to tell you, I learned about you because I dated a girl who followed your advice. And out of all the women I've dated, she's the one that made the greatest impact on me. And she religiously followed everything you said. So patting myself on the back here, but just saying, I mean, those are the most amazing messages I get. And that's what I want to happen for you. I want you to be that amazing woman who makes an impact on a man. And it's not even just making an impact on a man. I want you to be that amazing woman for you because it'll make your life better. It'll make things in all areas of your life just fall into place. So I hope this video was helpful. I hope you learned some important tips that you can apply to your own life. And if you want to know even more, if you want to know exactly how to be that woman I was describing, that all the boyfriends messaged me about, that woman who is high quality, who just has that's something different, then definitely check out our Make Him Want You Bad system. You can get it at makehimcraveyou.com. I will link it down below. Follow me on Instagram at New Mode. Make sure to comment, leave your thoughts, your feedback, your questions. I try to respond to everyone, and I will see you in the next video.